What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I'm going to be reviewing Halo Episode 4. To be honest, hopefully there's not too much to talk about because this episode was a whole lot of nothing. I will be flat out honest. I'm buying more into the story. I mean, there's really nothing else you can do, right? Watching it, I do despise most of, this entire series so far, but at some point, and I guess what I'm referencing here is Episode 3. Episode 3, and I do stand by this, had some of the best moments of the four episodes. The best moments in episode 3 were better than 1 and 2 and were better than 4. But it also had, in my opinion, some of the worst moments as well in episode 3, which, if anything, is at least a sign of, okay, again, I don't buy this as Master Chief. I don't buy this or this or this, but I'll go with you and, tell the story and we'll see how it goes. And this one completely backtracked. This episode's horrible. It really is. It's really bad. It's split up in 3 different teams. Let's start at Kwan, right? Kwan and Soren. Kwan is easily becoming the worst character, and this is not hard to have predicted. In fact, I had warned, other people had warned of something like this potentially happening. She has the Madrigal stuff does, I guess, matter, because I was going to say she has literally no purpose. They have created a purpose for her. It's just the least intriguing of any group they could possibly make from Halo, and it doesn't matter to me. She's becoming a very annoying character. She's been an annoying character, I feel like, ever since episode 1, ever since that, and we've said this before. Can you please just tell everybody that the Spartans came? Yeah, they maybe came too late, but they witnessed the Covenant, the Elite, and you've always thought they were myths, that you didn't even think they were real. You thought we were propaganda. Can you tell humanity that we aren't liars? And her response is, no, I won't do that. I'll do the opposite and say the Spartans killed my family and killed everybody there, and that you guys are evil. And from that moment on, she became insufferable, and that's what she's held on. But again, at least she had a purpose, because she was kind of paired with Master Chief. They were literally doing Grogu, except an annoying teenage girl, mixed with Master Chief, who is the taking the place of Mando in this case, or Din Djarin, right? And here we are now, where Soren is the babysitter, which is not as good of a relationship as you probably could have gotten with Chief. Not that either of them were very good, and she's again just becoming horrible. Now, why do I mention her so much? Well, she's like 40% of this episode. It's just so. She's annoying, and she, obviously, the arc of, the population, they're put down, but I can rally them, me, a team, and I've had enough of her pretending like she's talented in any way, right? I mean, I thought it's pretty well known she doesn't have abilities. She's untrained, right? She's not she proved that in the first episode. So episode 3, and even I guess episode 2, was a lot of her being like, oh, I'm so good, I'm so powerful, and oh, just give me the chance, and I'll be able to fight. And it's like, well, maybe I won't be able to fight, but I'll be able to rally the troops. And then in this episode, neither of them happen, right? She needs to get babysat. She can't defend herself. Instead, she has to get walked around, and then she fails at the other side of the mission. Well, maybe I can find the generals, and Soren, you'll get paid for all of this, even though it's very clear. It's no, it's just it's on a whim that she can promise you anything, right? And it's again, it fails. There's nobody that's gonna fight, you know what I mean? So it's pointless. Her entire arc is pointless, right? And again, the reason I bring this up is because it's 40% of the episode. Let's go to Chief, was the most intriguing of the 3 different groups, but also kind of they accomplished what could probably have been done in 2 minutes over the course of an hour, okay? Because, they go to his old house, he digs up his pictures, he relives his memories, him and Halsey fight, and then he goes to where he walked in those memories, and that's it, end of the episode. I mean, that truly is what happened. Now, the recreating the stuff in his mind, in his helmet, and then, I guess, mixed in with his mind, because it was his memories as well, that was fine. That was cool. That was a little bit different. But again, that was the biggest chunk of anything that he had to do in this entire episode. And, even that scene was probably a 3 or 4 minute scene. I can't imagine it went on. Let's give it 5. Let's round up. I can't imagine it went on for more than 5 minutes. I try to keep, by the way, timestamps. He put his helmet back on at the 10-minute mark, and then he took it off about 20 seconds later, which is why'd you even put it on? So I do try to pay attention to, okay, these characters are on screen for this amount of time. He didn't have, he was in the episode, but it's just, you know what I mean? They could have done what they did with him in such short, or I guess what he accomplished was so little, it could have been done in 5 minutes, but you have to give him more time. Otherwise, it's just Kwan and Miranda and the other 3 Spartans, and they're, oh my dear, and they're annoying. So it's like, well, who do you really have at this point? You have nobody. Let's not, the Covenant doesn't even exist anymore at this point. It's crazy. There was zero. Well, there was action. I mean, it was a couple cool blocks and martial arts like things a little bit with Soren, and that was kind of the only actiony things in the entire episode. So you had that, and then you really had Miranda and the Spartans, and obviously I forget, 125 I think is her number. I started to not mind her as the episode reached its conclusion, but once she takes out the thing, which I think that's the one that makes you feel emotions, right? When that happened, she was just so weird, and it's like, well, and again, do we really need to see all these people naked? I mean, they keep doing this. I mean, I saw people make a good point. It's like, you never see Master Chief's face in 20 years of the video games, and then, which episode was it, 2 or 3? You just see him completely naked. Not just do you see his face, but you literally, hey, if you ever wanted to see Master Chief butt naked, well, there you go. And hey, if you ever wanted to see the other Spartans butt naked, well, here you go as well. I don't not like the other Spartans. They are kind of cool in their own way. And again, this girl, I don't remember her name, and again, I think it's 125. It has a 1 as the starting number. She's okay, and she gets better, I think, when she kind of gets a little bit more connecting with Miranda towards the very end, when they're doing the monologue and they're swapping to the other scenes, and basically she's told, you are acting different, because she dyed her hair red now. It's like, you're acting different, and Halsey doesn't really tolerate that kind of stuff, because you're acting human, and Halsey has a thing with humans and all this stuff. That scene was probably one of the better scenes in the episode, maybe the series. And it wasn't great. It really wasn't. It was just a scene, but it wasn't. It was maybe one of the better things they've done. The other one, when they're first looking at the Covenant, and she picks up the Needler and all that stuff, it's like, oh my god, they are so annoying. Miranda specifically is very annoying 90% of the times. That Spartan is annoying 90% of the time. The other 2 are fine, and maybe it's because they don't talk so much. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. This episode, the biggest thing I can say of why I guess what I want to say is this. This episode accomplished very little. That's the biggest, I think, critique of, we're now 4 episodes in, and I feel like at least 2 have been filler. 4 episodes, episode 2 100% was filler, and episode 4, this is definitely filler as well. You could argue even 3. You really could. Half of 3 was probably filler as well. So we're at 60% of the series right now being of nothing of substance. It feels like things you can do in 5 minutes that you stretch out to 60, and you do that 4 different times besides episode 1 and parts of episode 3. It's insane. It's insane that they're taking so much time, in my opinion, to do so little. So on a surface, point, and again, it keeps going back to the same point. This attracts nobody new. If you're not into Halo, this stuff is boring. Sometimes it's cringy. Sometimes it's badly acted. Sometimes it's I just don't know what's going on. If you have no idea, right? You don't know what's going on. You're like, I don't even know if I like these characters. So all that stuff is going on, and that's if you don't like Halo, and it's too boring to be entertaining. There's not even any X factor that's oh, this is so cool. And then if you are a diehard fan, there was the first 15 minutes of episode 1, and then everything else probably just makes you overall upset. I know not everybody feels the same way I do, and that's fine. But I think overall, it's the show's not doing anything. Do we need the show? No. Are they doing anything remotely focused on Halo? No, this is not Halo. It's not. It hasn't been since it wasn't in episode 1. It truly wasn't, besides the first 15 minutes, which is debatable. This is not Halo. This is Halo skinned on whatever they wanted to do. They easily could have told this story with a brand new IP, a sci-fi IP. This was not necessary. So, and I've been saying that's a theme. But in this episode specifically, it's so much filler. It's so much just, you don't need any of, really 90% of it you didn't need, or you could have done faster. And then most of it is very bad. Kwan is becoming I want to actively skip, and I'm not. I'm watching it all the way through, but I actively want to skip the Kwan scenes because they're so bad. They're so bad. And I wanted to skip some of the Miranda with the Spartan scenes because they were so bad. I wanted to skip, honestly, 4 to 5 different segments of this episode. I did. I moved my mouse, and I was like, I'm not going to do it because, I want to, tell you guys I watched, the full thing, but I'm dead serious. And that's the first time I actually haven't, been that upset. And I'm not even, again, I'm not crying. I'm not walking back and forth back there, contemplating my life. I just don't like this show. And I don't really think many people, I guess that's my opinion. I know some people like it. I'll get 1 or 2 comments every single one of these reviews that tell me how stupid I am. And it's like, well, whatever. It's just my opinion. And it's yours. It's just your opinion as well. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Bell icons turn on. Every Thursday, we do the next episode. And then every other day, we do something else kind of fun. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you all on tomorrow's video.